What's up everybody and welcome back to the channel. This is your weekly reactor hunt video for the First Descendant. I do one of these every week because every week on Tuesday there is a reset and they shuffle around the reactors and which missions / areas they spawn from. Now this video covers from the 10th of December until the 17th of December, and basically how I compile this information is, first of all, I create myself a table like this. This basically shows the best in slot reactor according to the meta, I would suppose, for every single descendant. And then when we take that table, we can turn it into something like this, which actually shows that certain descendants use the same reactor configurations. And this is really heartening because it means that you don't have to spend as much time gathering these, because you can double up or in some cases even triple up on descendants. Like for example, Izamo and Lepic, both using fire and tech. Now you can actually find this information in the game as well by simply going to map and then pressing F for difficulty level rewards. And then here you can fill in the skill type as well as the archetype, and then it's going to spit out the region for you that you will have a higher than normal chance of actually getting these reactors to drop. So for example, in my previous mentioned example, fire and tech, which covers Izamo and Lepic, that means this week if we go to the storage area, we will have more of these reactors dropping from the activities within this area. Now you'll notice that there's a slight difference if you've been paying attention to the way how it looks now compared to the way how it was pre-season 2, and that's because the weapon type, right, has fallen away. So now you only have to concern yourself with the actual element and then the actual type. That means that you will then still have a, let's say, relative amount of RNG if you're looking for a specific mounting to drop, because as we know now, reactors work different in terms of mountings. Gold reactors work different now in season 2. So instead of it mentioning the specific ultimate weapon like it was prior to the season 2 patch, it now mentions the weapon type. So assault rifle, hand cannon, light machine gun, and so on. So you will then, in other words, be farming. Let's say, for example, you are looking for, again, my two boys, Izamo and Lepic. In the storage area, you will be farming, and that is going to drop a bunch of fire and tech reactors. But the RNG part here is which weapon mounting comes on there. I hope that makes sense. And that's basically the first really big change that we have now for reactors in a while in terms of how we farm these. Now, in these videos, I like to suggest areas to go farm that have a higher than normal drop rate of reactors, meaning that they're very efficient places to go for these in terms of reactors per hour. And so therefore this week I have 4 different farms that I can suggest to you. Now, if you're looking for a Jayber, Valby, and Gley, which is non-attribute dimension, dude, I'm jumping around a lot in these menus here. It's a reactor like this, materialized phase, that's non-attribute dimension. So again, just saying that is Jayber, Valby, and Gley. This week there is a very decent farm for us. So we're going to go over here, we're going to say non-attribute, and we are going to choose ourselves dimension. It spits out Grand Square, and Grand Square is this first area here in Kingston. And basically, yeah, you can do this mission called Kingston Surveillance Radar. This is very easily repeatable with a fast AoE descendant like Bunny, for example. It says 3 minutes or less, but you can absolutely do this faster for sure. Basically murder out the 3 different packs of enemies and rinse, repeat, and start. And you should be seeing quite a few of these reactors dropping out. Hopefully you get the one that you're looking for. Next, if you're interested in building Yujin, but more specifically healing Yujin, or Healjin as I've taken to calling him, you are going to be looking for non-attribute fusion reactor. So definitely not the one that is on my character there, but more something like, here we go, non-attribute fusion. So this is what you're going to be looking for, right? So this is materialized mixture, non-attribute fusion. And if you're looking for this week for Yujin, I've got a good farm for you as well. Basically, we're going to go here, we're going to say non-attribute, we're going to choose fusion, and that is going to spit out repository. So repository has a mission in it called Kuiper Mine. This is a fantastic mission for farming reactors, because it's one of these that you activate and then you have 7 mines that you have to dismantle. But what we do is we don't step off this middle area, and we essentially use Bunny or someone with AoE, and we kind of just stick to this middle area, murdering all the enemies as they spawn. This gives you almost an entire 5 minutes of farming. You're going to see a bunch of enemies. This gives decent character XP and weapon XP. Of course, there's much better activities to target specifically for that if you're looking for that, but it's good to also get that alongside the multitude of reactors that are hopefully going to drop for you. Hopefully you get something decent for your Healjin. And we actually have a decent bunny farm this week. It's been a while, so this shit is always super helpful. Of course, Bunny's reactor of choice is electric and singular, and so this is because her third ability is of course the one that you want to be juicing up, and that happens to be an electric singular ability. This week we have a very decent farm for her. If we go here and we choose electric and we choose singular, we are going to get abandoned zone. Abandoned zone is in Echo Swamp, and it's this area over here, and it has a mission in it called environment contamination zone, which by the way is perfectly suited for Bunny. So this is a short little loop that you run, a bunch of yellow bars spawn, lots of good drops. You can get code breakers here. Got decent XP, decent weapon XP, or proficiency rather, gold, Kuiper. It's pretty much got all of it, at least a little bit of it, and you should be able to get some decent reactors to drop from this activity as well, and hopefully it's got the mounting that you're looking for. And then last but not least, the Ice Queen herself also has a decent farm this week if you are building cold-blooded or basically trying to get the most damage possible out of your fourth ability. That means you are looking for a frozen mechanics reactor, which is chill and tech, and this week you can also farm that with relative ease by going over here and saying chill and choosing tech, and that is going to spit out an area called Rockfall. Rockfall is over here, and it has a mission. This is in Sterile Land, by the way, and it has a mission called Anticipated Ambush Point, another one that can be very easily speed ran by Bunny. It's a small little ramp that you run up towards this sort of circular area. A bunch of enemies spawn. You've got a yellow bar as well. This also has a high propensity of code breakers that drop, which is really good. It's not fantastic in terms of like XP, weapon proficiency, Kuiper and gold compared to some of the other options that are available right now, or even some of the other ones which we talked about in this very video. But still, you will be getting that, and hopefully you will be getting a buttload of these reactors as well with the mounting that you're looking for Viessa. And then just as a quick side note, if you are still looking to farm yourself a farm set, if you don't know what I mean by that, go ahead and check out the channel. I have at least 2 videos on farm sets and how important they are. Of course, they are external components with the specific substats on which benefit you in farming. Like, for example, consumable drop rate and character XP gain, firearm proficiency and gold drop rate increase, item acquisition, pickup distance and equipment drop rate, and last but not least, Kuiper shot and module drop rate. So if you are still looking to farm golden external components with potentially good rolls of these on, is actually 2 good spots this week, depending on which external component you're looking for. So if we go here and we choose first of all sensors, then there is a mission called Vermilion Waste. Now this is all the way over here in Agna Desert, and there is a outpost here that you can do in the Valby method, right? And that is going to, instead of dropping a huge amount of reactors, it's actually going to drop sensors for you. And hopefully one of those sensors that it drops could potentially have a double gold rolled on it with these farm stats on, so that you can actually build yourself a farm set as well. Now these kinds of farms aren't always around. This is actually, I wouldn't say rare, but you usually find them every week, but the point is the area in which they spawn is always not that great. So this week is a really good one if you're not interested in any of those other farms, but you are looking to get yourself a sexy farm set and you're looking for a good sensor. This is where to go. Not only are sensors good this week, but so are processors. Processors, if you click on processor, you'll go over here to Sterile Land here, and this mission here, large nuclear reactor, is also really good, once again with a bunny. It says 10 minutes or less, but there's no fucking way that you'll take that long to do this mission. It's essentially one of these capture and hold missions, so you'll just kind of go from here to the middle and then you just have to stand in the middle there and capture and hold that area. All the enemies that spawn will be coming at you from 3 different angles, but they are melee orientated enemies, so they'll just run up to you, and if you have your AoE active, you'll just basically kill them all out. If you're playing a Descendant that does not have AoE, don't worry, you can still use something like Kingsguard Lance or whatever, but the bottom line is you should be able to farm yourself a decent amount of these reactors as well. And that's going to be it for the video. Thank you so much for watching, especially if you made it this far. I've got a bunch more other gun guides and Descendant guides dropping before the weekend, so go ahead and sub to the channel if that seems like something that you'd be interested in. Otherwise, go on and have yourself a fantastic day, and as always, fucking cheers.